Good afternoon. I'm out here on Grandview Drive in Peoria, Illinois, and wanted to do a quick video, maybe not super quick, on why I bought an e-bike. So that's a little bit of news. It's kind of old news now. Back in July, I bought a Rad Runner. So Rad is the brand, Runner is the model. It's more of a utility electric bike. If you know me, you know that I love to be outside. I've been riding bikes or things that had wheels probably since I was 2 years old. So I love things with wheels. I'm a bicycling enthusiast. I've got about a 29-year-old mountain bike, Specialized Hard Rock Ultra, that I bought at Russell's Cycle way back when in the mid 90s, maybe 93-ish. So why would I buy an e-bike? It's a fair question. In fact, I would say not that I was against them, but I just wasn't excited about them. Again, because I just like riding my pedal bike. Sometime around, it was a little before the pandemic, I think, and the shelter-in-place stuff back in 2020. A year or so before that, I had done some research, just came across Rad bikes, came across electric motorcycles, and had just done a little bit of information seeking, just for fun. We got to a point here in the spring, the last couple of months, where we were looking at replacing my car. My Buick has 220,000 miles on it, needs to be replaced at some point. And also had sold my motorcycle, and we just weren't at a place where it was the right time to go and get a different motorcycle. Didn't want to make a big decision about a car, and so as a few different circumstances came together, I went back and started researching the e-bikes again and thought, hey, I could possibly commute to work, and I could use that to cut down on the amount of gas that we're using and just continue to ride out the old Buick until the wheels fall off. Another couple considerations that came into play, a lot of you would know that my wife Amy has quite a few just chronic health issues, just with fatigue and other things. And so getting an electric bike would allow her at times to go out biking with me. She can ride the electric bike, I can ride the pedal bike. So those were a few things that we had considered. When it came down to it, I bought, again, a Rad Runner. And I've been pretty happy with it. It's made in China, so overall I've been very satisfied with the quality. It has a range of about 30 to 35 miles, kind of depends on how much you rely on the battery. It's what's called a pedal assist bike, and so you can just twist the throttle and go. So it's been a lot of fun, and I would actually highly recommend it. Honestly, I'm getting less exercise, which I think is kind of the concern of going with e-bikes, but I'm also using less fuel for the car, and it's been something fun to share with other people as well. So I would encourage you to take a look. It may not be the right thing for you. There's some really high-end bikes out there, 4,000 and higher, and then there's some lower-end, cheaper ones. I kind of went not in the middle, but something that was just within my budget. So yeah, wanted to give a little explanation why I bought an e-bike. I'm out here. I've got my old Specialized that I'm out riding this afternoon. But I think that's it. I think down the road I'd like to do another video just explaining kind of how difficult it is to change your lifestyle. I know that when I made the decision, Amy and I made the decision to go ahead and purchase the e-bike, I had done some calculations and thought, oh, if I start almost exclusively riding my e-bike during the warmer months, here's how much money we could save in gas. But the reality is our lifestyles that we have become accustomed to, they're really hard to shift. And there might be a day when I have to pick something up to take to work, or I have to go run an errand after work, or I'm meeting somebody for lunch in the middle of the day, or anything like that. It kind of messes up my plan to ride. Obviously rain and weather will shift that as well. But it has been a lot of fun. One of the highlights I would say is that it just is enjoyable to ride. And so if it's 8 o'clock at night, I'm pretty wiped out from the day. But I have 15 or 20 minutes or so, just a window of time. I jump on the e-bike and I go out for 20 minutes and I go ride Grandview Drive or go somewhere else and I just take a spin. And even though it's not a ton of exercise, it's getting the fresh air, it's being outside, and it's just staying active. So you can probably tell I'm a little fired up about it. I have absolutely loved it, and I think that's all for now. All right, so I just figured out another question that probably a lot of people would want to know about, and that is basically how fast does it go? About 18 to 20 miles an hour, I think, is a good estimate. That's what they say. Probably depends on how much of a headwind you have, if you're pedaling, how well the tires are inflated, etc., etc. But somewhere in that 20 mile an hour range.